The Foxbody Mustang is one of the best deals in modern history. A true classic that you can drive every single day with minimal maintenance. But is it the best car that you can possibly buy? A lot of people would argue yes, but there's a lot more to a Foxbody Mustang than just cool looks and retro styling. This car was the undisputed king of the streets.
And just so you know, in the 90s, if you were rolling in a 5.0, meant you were the man.
It would eat Corvettes and Porsches for lunch. Especially living here in Miami, I think that this was here possibly the Foxbody Mustang capital of the world. But that was a long time ago. And even here in Miami, I rarely see them on the streets anymore. So what's happened? Well, there is still an incredible deal, even though the prices have gone up. But do they still work in today's world? Before we start, don't forget to subscribe. It signals YouTube to push this video out to more people so that more people can know what's up with the Foxbody Mustang. The 1979 to 1993 Foxbody Mustang still is a cult classic, as in it's still one of the favorite cars to a lot of people all across the United States. And even though the prices have gone up, it's still a fraction of the cost of a lot of other V8 performance cars, especially the classic ones. The lightweight chassis means that there is very little fat in this car, and it's also a very simple car to keep on the streets with a minimal maintenance. That is a very different situation than most new Mustangs. If you want to upgrade or restore your classic Foxbody Mustang, there is a massive aftermarket industry that sells every single little piece that you could possibly want on your Foxbody. You see, what's happened with a lot of classic cars is that they are almost impossible to keep on the streets because it does get to a point where you can't buy parts anymore. They just don't exist. Nobody makes them. That is the opposite with the Foxbody Mustang. The good thing is that this car was very popular when it was new. They made so many of them that entire industries were formed just catering to the Foxbody Mustang. Well, guess what? Those businesses that cater to the Foxbody Mustang are still making Foxbody parts, and they're going to continue to do so at least for the rest of my life and your life also. This means that you're never gonna have any issues getting parts for your Foxbody. The engines are incredibly easy to work on with minimal electronics and a straightforward engine bay. I remember when I was growing up here in Miami, myself and a lot of other friends, we all had Foxbody Mustangs. And it's incredible how 16 and 17-year-olds were ripping these engines apart and building them back up, upgraded, faster, more reliable than how they came from the factory. That's how simple these cars are. Now, that was back then, a long time ago. I'm 47 now. There was no internet. That was basically with like a Haynes manual and, a couple of Carcraft magazines. Today, this is even easier than before. You'll find YouTube tutorials for every little thing that you could possibly need on a Foxbody Mustang. So getting your Foxbody serviced, even if it's not yourself, getting a shop to work on it or a friend to work on it, it's gonna be easy basically for the rest of the Foxbody's life. And thinking about a lot of other classic cars that I know of, I don't know of any other one that even comes close to that. Zero. That is a massive plus with Foxbodies. And it removes a level of hassle that steals the ownership joy from a lot of other classic cars. Not with the Foxbody. It is a pure joy to own and service. Rear-wheel drive and solid rear axle. Now, a lot of people love to knock the solid rear axle, but guess what? That's actually one of the best things about the Foxbody Mustang. The simple live rear axle. Number one, it makes the car a lot more fun. I don't care what anybody tells me. If you're gonna drive like an adult under 60, 70 miles per hour, a live rear axle will always be a lot more fun than in an independent rear suspension in the Foxbody, because you do burnouts easier, you do donuts easier, you do everything easier. It's actually one of the reasons to get this car. And the fact that the 8.8 rear end takes a pounding and is lighter than an independent rear suspension, it means that this is one of the best features on the Foxbody. I know a lot of people love the idea of an independent rear suspension, and yes, of course it does handle better, but at what cost? You know that an independent rear suspension, it's got more joint points and more failure points than a live rear axle. So as they age, refreshening up the suspension costs a lot more money, but also it weighs a lot more. It's not as tough as the live rear axle. And in my opinion, when a car is far more composed, it's actually less fun. So anybody that complains about the live rear axle, well, let's look at the miles per mile on the Foxbody. That in itself tells you that the formula is perfect and it's not to be messed around with. It's an analog machine. Relative to other cars, the Foxbody was actually more of an analog machine than other cars. What do I mean by this? Well, if you compare the Foxbody to a Camaro, which I love also, and a Corvette at the time, most of those cars were automatic. The Foxbodies, especially the 5.0s, were mainly manuals with the T5, and this gives you the ultimate analog experience on a classic car. This availability of so many manuals on Foxbodies means that you're rarely paying a premium for the manual. And this is something that I only see in Foxbodies, because in most other car manufacturers, since the manual transmissions were basically, 5% or 10%, in many cases, you're actually paying double the value of the car just to get that manual transmission. That's not the case with the Foxbody. Since they made so many of them with the T5s, I've noticed virtually no price difference between the manuals and the automatics. It's more dependent on the quality of the car. Basically, is it falling apart or is it not? Is it in mint condition or is it, in so-so condition? So that means that you're not paying a massive premium for a manual to get that analog experience. And that is something that only the Foxbody offers. Affordable entry point. Now, this affordability is relative, of course, because 10 years ago, you could get a Mustang GT, let's say a 1993, for about $7,000 or $8,000. That very same Mustang GT today, most likely, doesn't have any rust. You're gonna be paying closer to $14,000, $15,000 or more. But you also have to factor in that cars have gotten much more expensive relative to, a Foxbody. So this still low entry point makes it one of the best used cars for the money. Remember, a lot of classic cars are basically unusable if you're gonna daily drive them. That's not the case with Foxbodies. You can daily drive a Foxbody today like it was 1993. They were very reliable back then, and they are today. And of course, the best part is that the depreciation is not gonna happen on these cars because they keep going up in value. It is a win-win. A huge community of amazing enthusiasts. The support community on Foxbodies is next to none. You have to remember that when the Foxbody came out, there were countless publications only about the Foxbody. They were only dedicated to the Foxbody, to maintaining this Foxbody, to making it faster, and to upgrading your Foxbody. These huge publications, as far as magazines go, didn't go away when the internet came out. Basically, what happened is that everything migrated into the internet, into separate forums. Now, everything that was available before is the same times 100. So this support system and a knowledge base that Foxbodies have, other cars simply don't have. They don't. And that removes a level of headache of owning a classic car that few other cars have. Now, a lot of you guys might be thinking to yourself, it's not such a big deal, but if you have owned a classic car and perhaps something's gone wrong with it, and you start thinking to yourself in the back of your head, how do I fix this? Automatically, guess what? Your experience with the car is not as good. That's something you don't have to worry about with the Foxbody. And still today is one of the biggest reasons why it's so popular. The nostalgia factor. This is massive. You see, when I was growing up, everybody wanted a Foxbody. It's not like today. It was very different because today there's a lot of fast cars. If you have a Mustang, yes, it's very fast. However, there's a lot of other cars that you don't want to mess with. But when the Foxbody was out on the streets, that was the fastest car. And if they weren't, it could easily, in a weekend, be made into the fastest car, at least around your neighborhood. What does this mean? A lot of people growing up saw this car as the one to get. And as a whole bunch of new cars came out, they still got stuck in their brain, the Foxbody. Those people now have enough money to buy whatever toy they want. And guess what? Nothing is gonna make them feel young again like a Foxbody. It's incredible. I don't know if it's happening to you guys, but I'm 47, and how a car makes you feel is more important than the performance numbers. It just is. For a car to make me feel 20 years younger, that there does more for me than a car that makes me feel cooler and is super duper fast. Just because I had my first Foxbody when I was 15 and a half, there's nothing that takes me back more than a Foxbody. I had gotten another Foxbody, a 93 convertible, just so I could take my kids out in. While I had that 93 Foxbody parked outside here, the feeling of being 16 again never went away. Virtually every single purchase that you buy, the excitement goes away after a little bit of time. This nostalgia factor that when I sit in that car, I'm 16 again, nothing compares to that. And I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people all across the United States that feel exactly the same way. And this is part of the reason why these cars are still so popular today and only increasing in popularity. Do not underestimate this nostalgia factor. It is massive. And of course, there's a lot of cars that are nostalgic, but they're not good. That's not the case with the Foxbody. The car is actually amazing. Drag strip pedigree. Now, when the Foxbody was out on the streets, when it was newer on the streets, these cars, at least here in Miami, they were all, every single one of them, they were all prepped for the drag strip, for the quarter mile, not the 1/8. The quarter. And of course, there was nothing on the streets that could even come close to a Foxbody. But what does that mean today? Because that was a long time ago. Well, that means that if you want to upgrade your Foxbody to 600 horsepower, and 600 horsepower perhaps doesn't sound a lot to you guys just because, you know, you have a lot of other cars that are 600 horsepower, but you have to remember that 600 horsepower on a 2,800 pound car is very, very different than 600 horsepower on a car that weighs 4,500 pounds. 600 horsepower on a Foxbody becomes into a lane management situation, as in it becomes very difficult to keep it between the lanes because the car is all over the place. And you could take your car and make it a reliable 600 horsepower monster, and every single link in the chain from the engine all the way to the rear end has upgraded parts that are available for it. That means that you can actually build a bulletproof 600 horsepower Foxbody that is still daily drivable, and the list of combinations is incredible. That's why the Foxbody Mustang is one of the most modified cars in existence. Okay, so which are the best Foxbodies to buy? If you're hunting out there for a Foxbody, let me tell you that there is still a lot of them to choose from. They're all across the United States, tucked away in garages, and many of them are still not for sale, just because this car is just entering massive classic status, and people are realizing this. The good ones are really not being sold. However, if you are looking for a Foxbody for yourself, the best ones are, of course, the 1993 Cobra would be number one. These cars are numbered and they are incredibly collectible. The prices have only been going up. Since I did the last video on a Foxbody Mustang, the prices have almost doubled yet again. It's incredible. But up until a few years ago, the 93 Cobra was the only one to get. And then all the other ones were kind of like, you know, coasting along. That has changed. Now, the 1987 through 1993 Mustang GTs in minty condition are exploding in value. Look at the prices that you see them for sale. They're rivaling what the Cobras were selling 5 years ago. It's incredible. This is a trend that is not going to change. The early 79 through 86 four-eyed cars, for a lot of years, let me tell you, people did not appreciate these cars. As a matter of fact, when I was in high school and even during college, a lot of people were just putting the aero bumpers on the earlier cars. They just wanted them to look like the newer one. Nobody wanted them to look like the earlier cars. However, that's changing, and these earlier cars have a huge following, especially when incredibly restored. So the early cars are gaining incredible momentum. This wasn't the case 5 years ago. It is the case today. The coupes. Everybody knows that the coupes are the lightest and have the stiffest structures. If you're gonna build a high horsepower Foxbody Mustang, the coupes are your weapon of choice, and very few of them have stayed stock because of that reason. And now within the coupes, there is one that has even surprised me, by the way. I don't know if it has you guys, but it has me. The highway patrol cars. It's incredible. When I was in high school, you know, in Florida, we had the highway patrol cars, the 5.0s. And I remember these cars, after the highway patrol would use them, I mean, they would put 200,000-300,000 miles on them, and they would send them off to auction. These cars can be purchased for $900 at the auction, a couple of miles away from my house. These same highway patrol cars with the original paint scheme are now fetching big money. It's incredible because it's a huge part of the 5.0 history. And it's pretty cool when you show up to Cars and Coffee with your highway patrol 5.0. It's just something that you really can't duplicate, especially when you know that it was the real deal. Now, what drives value on each particular 5.0? It's very simple. Originality is number one. Numbers matching unmodified Foxbodies, how it rolled off the assembly line, that is key. For value, that means original paint, original everything. I mean, I've seen these cars, wrapper cars, still that you can buy today, that they have the original tires from 1992. I've even seen it advertised with original air from 1982. Those are the ones that are commanding the most. Why? Because people want original cars. This is just the reality of most classic cars. So if you are looking for an investment quality car, look for a car that is under 50,000 miles, a car that you could still put miles on it. Look for original paint, original body, and a clean, accident-free history. Those are the cars that sell for a premium today, but also remember that when the time comes to sell, those are going to sell the fastest and the easiest. And take your time finding the nicest Fox body possible. This means that you might not find the Fox body you're looking for within your 100-mile radius of where you live. A lot of these cars are purchased on Bring a Trailer, on all these auction sites. You might have to be open to buying a Fox body that is not in your area. You might have to have it shipped to you. You're looking for videos, documentation, pictures of the car you're looking for, and you're gonna have to factor in shipping costs. But you know what? It's worth it. There are few cars that are as fun as a 5.0, and the fact that these cars are not going down in value and they're so easy to maintain makes them an incredible buy, because there is nothing like a 5.0.